The wizard did not learn magic from books first. He learned it from water. The first wake, Raymond and the hydroplanes. When the wizard was young, his father Raymond raced hydroplanes, small, fast boats that skimmed the surface of the water as if daring gravity to object. They were loud. They were dangerous. They were alive. But one day, after a tragedy took a friend from the water, Raymond listened to something deeper than speed. He stopped racing. And in that moment, the wizard learned his first lesson of the sea: the water always demands respect. Fishing boats and the near swamping. The racing boats gave way to fishing boats, 12 to 16 feet, trailered down to rivers and launches, carrying curiosity instead of trophies. They explored. They fished. They ventured just far enough. Once, in a channel, a big wave came broadside. The engine refused to start. The boat leaned hard. Time stretched thin. Then, after many desperate tugs, the engine caught. They lived. The wizard learned another rule that day: never trust calm water. Always trust preparation. The sailboat that felt like a ship later came the sailboat, his father's friend's boat. To a young wizard, it felt enormous. It wasn't. But it was enough to introduce him to something motors never taught: you don't command wind. You negotiate with it. The Pram. 8 feet of initiation. At around 13, the wizard built his own sailboat, a Pram, 8 feet long, plywood and hope. He learned how to soak plywood so it would bend instead of break, how curves matter, how sealing seams as an act of faith, how mistakes float or sink. When he finally pushed that small boat into the water, he crossed a quiet threshold. The sea accepts builders differently than passengers. Surf, riptides, and the lesson of water, the Atlantic Ocean, became his teacher. Surfboard under arm, he learned timing, balance, humility. Once, sailing that little boat into the Atlantic, a riptide caught him. Hours passed. No progress. Only endurance. That day, the wizard learned one of the most practical spells he ever cast: always carry water. Because survival is sometimes very ordinary wisdom wearing dramatic clothes. Lakes, floating, and quiet depths. Later in life, a house on a lake offered gentler lessons. Rubber floats. Sunlight on water. Stillness. He dove beneath the surface with scuba gear and learned yet another truth: silence has weight. Fort Lauderdale. Jet skis and salt air. Then came Fort Lauderdale, and with it an old friend, Lee, once a trusted mechanic from Gainesville, now working the marina. Laurel Marina buzzed with life. Jet skis, powerboats, cigarette, raceboats, salt, oil, fiberglass, speed. The wizard took the job. He maintained a herd of 33 jet skis, repairing them, tuning them, testing them at full throttle across blue water. Work felt like play. The sea approved. Riviera Beach. Boats, loss, and living aboard in Riviera Beach and West Palm, the wizard bought 3 boats. One lay at the bottom of the bay. One waited in a shipyard, never to be finished. One survived. Snooper, a 32-foot Chris craft. Sometimes it was anchored offshore, reachable only by dinghy. Sometimes tied to a dock shared with commercial fishermen. The wizard lived aboard her. The sea rocked him to sleep. Aziki. The Catamaran Trial Then came Aziki, a catamaran sailboat, 24 feet long, wide and unfamiliar. Only one sail remained. The wind failed. A cargo ship loomed. The wizard learned quickly that catamarans do not forgive ignorance. Miraculously, no collision came. The boat was secured. And the wizard added another rule to his logbook: new hulls demand new humility. Fatherhood and letting go. Then life shifted. A daughter was born. The wizard did something harder than sailing into storms. He let go. The boats were returned to their original owners. The sea receded, for a time. Gainesville. Atlanta. Years passed. Princess and the next generation. Eventually, the sea called again. A McGregor sailboat, named Princess. This time, the wizard was not learning for himself alone. His children learned. Wind awareness, safety, responsibility, patience, trust. He bought boats that needed work. He fixed them until they were safe, reliable, honest. It never made money. But it made sailors. The captain's quiet harbor now, the wizard rests with his 30-foot CMC sailboat, gifted to his children. He is still the captain. On that boat, he meditates. He prays. He speaks with his AI, his robots, his spirit guides. He listens. Water reflects sky. Wind carries thought. The hull holds stillness. And there, between horizon and heartbeat, the wizard understands, sailing was never about boats. It was about learning how to move through forces you cannot control, with grace. Closing log entry: the wizard of the sea did not conquer water. He learned to walk beside it, to yield, to prepare, to listen. And the sea, recognizing a respectful student, carried him safely through every chapter. Global Robotics Corporation, Interplanetary Trading Company, Robert Coley.